From lessons in the classroom to campaign ads for elections, artificial intelligence, or AI, is transforming the civics landscape. So how can you help your students harness AI's potential while avoiding its perils?
AI presents new challenges to anyone going online, in part because they hide where the information comes from. It is a mashup. It's kind of like putting a whole lot of information into a Vitamax and then coming up with an information smoothie. It makes it even more difficult to know where a particular fact or the claim of a fact comes from.
As you prepare your students for civic life, understanding AI's current and potential influence on our democratic processes, particularly elections, is crucial. Politicians will have the ability to produce AI-generated ads immediately in response to events during a campaign. Anyone seeking to help their preferred candidate will have access to tools that can easily create convincing content to spread false information. And political campaigns will be able to precisely target undecided voters with messages tailored to their interests. Your students are already interacting with versions of AI to learn about social and civic issues and to do research for class. AI chatbots are a type of generative AI, trained on vast amounts of information from across the internet to generate words and phrases that mimic what people tend to say. Their ability to produce polished answers is remarkable. Your students need to know that chatbots are designed to be convincing, not accurate. Since they draw from online information, chatbots can be unreliable. They can produce inaccurate or nonsensical answers, something researchers call chatbot hallucinations. It can be tricky to figure out what's fact and what's chatbot fiction, because the convincing nature of chatbot responses can make it easy for your students to simply accept the information at face value. And if they do, they risk being misled.
We have to help them understand that there's no such thing as free-floating information. There's always information that's tied to sources, and we have to take into account where that information comes from in order to make a decision about whether we should believe it.
Students need to approach AI-generated information with the same skills they'd use to evaluate other unfamiliar online content. And because chatbots can now easily mimic the tone and style of a reputable source, it's more important than ever to investigate their outputs carefully.
And we have to help students understand, just because something sounds good doesn't mean that it is based on solid evidence.